I don't care if the whole Lego society mocks me, Chioma shouted across the dining table, her voice trembling but firm. Her father slammed his fist down. You will marry who I choose. And in that instant, war broke out in the Okeke mansion. Silence followed, heavy and sharp. The long table glittered with silver and glass, but nobody touched the food. Chief Williams stared at his daughter like she had become a stranger. Her mother sat stiff, napkin in hand, eyes wet but angry. The house staff kept moving like ghosts, heads down, trying not to breathe. I'm telling you, it felt like the whole building was listening. Daddy, Chioma said, softer now. My life is not an award you present to a man. Her father leaned back. Your life is our name, and our name is bigger than your feelings. Feelings? She laughed without joy. You mean my future? Her mother cut in. Your father is right. A woman in our position must marry well. People are talking, Chioma. They are saying you are proud. They are saying no man is good enough for you. Chioma dropped her eyes to the plate. The food looked perfect, but her stomach was tight. She knew the rumors. She heard them at weddings, at charity events, even in whispers at church. When will she settle? Who will take the Okeke girl? It always sounded like a transaction. Never love. Never choice. Let people talk, Chioma said. I'm the one who has to live in that marriage. Her father's voice darkened. You will live well. You will marry a man who strengthens our family. This is how our world works. And where does my happiness fit in? After respect, he said. After legacy. Her mother reached across the table, palm open. Chioma, Baiko, you are our only daughter. We are not your enemies. We want you safe, honored, settled. You are beautiful, yes, but beauty fades. Respect remains. Doors open. Influence grows. Your children will inherit a strong name. Isn't that what you want? The words pressed on Chioma's chest. She loved her parents. She loved the life they gave her. But the thought of marrying a man she did not love felt like a cage with gold bars. Mummy, she whispered. I want peace. I want a man who sees me. Her father scoffed. Men see power. That is life. A phone vibrated. Her mother glanced at the screen and sighed. Another invitation, she said. A private dinner tomorrow. You will attend. Another dinner where I am inspected like fabric? Chioma asked. Another dinner where you will behave, her father replied. We will not be ashamed. After the meal, Chioma walked out to the balcony for air. The night carried the smell of rain and jasmine. The city lights spread wide and bright, like a promise and a warning at the same time. Her phone buzzed again. Group messages, event flyers, a blog post with her photo. Okeke princess still single at 27. Is she too picky? She locked the screen and closed her eyes. The world felt loud. Her mother came out quietly. My daughter, she said, voice tired. I know you think we don't understand, but we do. Love is sweet. Marriage is work. In our circle, love can come later. Must I sacrifice myself first? Chioma asked. You are not a sacrifice. You are a seed. You plant now. You harvest later. I am not farmland, Mummy. Her mother's face tightened, then softened. At least meet them. Keep an open mind. Meet who? Your father will arrange names. Good families. Good futures. Chioma leaned on the railing. What if my own future is different from what you planned? Then prove it, her mother said, holding her gaze. Bring us a man who is better. Bring us a man who will not stain our name. Can you? The challenge hung in the air. Chioma had no answer. She only knew what she didn't want. Before bed, she stood in front of her mirror, removing earrings, wiping off makeup. The face looking back was calm, but her heart pounded. She remembered being a little girl, watching her parents laugh together at the end of hard days. She wanted that kind of friendship, not a cold business deal tied with a ring, not a trophy wedding for blogs to feed on. In the morning, the mansion moved like a machine. Drivers ready, cooks humming, phones ringing. Her father called her into his study. The room smelled of leather and books. He didn't look up at first. "You will come to the dinner tonight," he said. "No arguments." "Yes, sir," she replied. Fighting now would solve nothing. He looked up, eyes soft for a second. "Chioma, I built this life brick by brick. Every friend, every handshake, every risk. I cannot watch it crumble because my daughter believes love is a luxury." She swallowed. "Maybe love is the foundation." "Not in Lagos," he said. "Here love is a guest. Respect owns the house." On the way out, she passed two aunties in the sitting room. They smiled too wide. "Nwanyi Oma," one said. "We hear you are finally ready to settle." Chioma forced a smile. "I am ready to live." They laughed like she told a joke. It wasn't a joke. Later that afternoon, she met her friend Amaka for coffee. She needed a normal voice. "So they're pushing again?" Amaka asked, stirring her drink. "It feels like I'm a project," Chioma said. "A campaign. They speak of deals and alliances. Nobody asks me what I feel." "What do you feel?" "I feel like running." "To where?" She shrugged. "Anywhere people are chosen for love, not for headlines." Amaka touched her hand. "You are brave, Chioma, but be wise. If you must go to this dinner, go. Smile. Watch. Keep your heart safe." "I'm tired of smiling," Chioma said. "I want to breathe." Evening came fast. The dress lay on her bed like a contract. She wore it anyway because battles sometimes require armor. The driver waited downstairs. Her mother checked her hair. "You look perfect," she said. "Please, no scenes tonight." "I won't start a scene," Chioma said. "But I won't be silent if someone tries to buy my future." Her mother sighed. "Just be gentle." As they stepped into the car, the sky rumbled. A thin line of rain began to fall, tapping the windshield. Chioma watched the drops slide down the glass, each one making its own path. She whispered, almost to herself, "I won't let anyone choose my path for me." The car turned out of the compound and into the bright Lagos evening traffic. Billboards flashed by, luxury watches, new estates, wedding halls. Her phone buzzed again. Another message from a number she didn't save. "Can't wait to meet you tonight." She muted the chat. Her chest felt tight, but her jaw stayed firm. This was her life. This was the pressure. And this was only the beginning. Tonight would bring the first of the acceptable men. The parade was about to start. Chioma set her face like stone and looked out at the road, not knowing that soon, on another road, in another kind of night, a small accident would change everything. The dining table fight from the night before still echoed in Chioma's mind when she stepped into the grand banquet hall the following evening. The chandelier glowed, the long table was set, and the atmosphere screamed wealth and power. But to Chioma, it felt like a marketplace where she was the product for sale. She sat stiffly between her parents as guests arrived. Men in suits, women in sparkling gowns, voices loud with fake laughter. Then she saw him, Daniel, tall, handsome, but with an arrogance that filled the room before his smile did. "Chioma," her mother whispered, "stand. Greet him properly." She obeyed, forcing a polite smile. Daniel leaned close, taking her hand as if it already belonged to him. "You look even better than the photos," he said, scanning her from head to toe. "No wonder your father protects you like treasure." Chioma gently pulled her hand back. "Good evening." Daniel smirked. "Evening, my dear, but call me Daniel. Soon enough, you'll be calling me more than that." Her father chuckled at the boldness. "A confident young man," he said. "That's what a woman needs." Chioma sat, her stomach turning. Daniel talked the whole night, boasting about his father's businesses, his cars, his travels. Not once did he ask her what she liked, what she dreamed of. At one point, Daniel leaned in and whispered, "You know, people expect you to end up with someone like me. It's natural. Rich marries rich. The whole city waits to see us together." Chioma's face hardened. "And what if I don't want the whole city? What if I just want myself?" Daniel laughed like she told a joke. "Don't be silly. Nobody lives for themselves here. You belong to a name, to a legacy. Fighting it is useless." Her chest tightened. She excused herself, walking out into the hallway for air. Her mother followed quickly. Chioma, why are you walking out? You embarrassed him. Mummy, he talks like I am already his property. That is how men in our circle are. You must learn to live with it. I won't. Her mother sighed, frustrated. Stop fighting everything. One day you'll thank us. A week later, another suitor arrived at the mansion. This time it was Mr. Titus. He was older, with streaks of gray in his hair and eyes that lingered too long on the house, the paintings, the staff moving around. Chief Williams, Titus said warmly, shaking her father's hand. Your home is magnificent, a true empire. Her father smiled proudly. And my daughter is the crown jewel. Chioma's stomach tightened again. She greeted him politely, but when she met his eyes, she saw greed, not admiration. At dinner, Titus spoke of land deals, business ventures, and how he believed families should combine fortunes to secure the future. He kept calling her my dear, and once even said, when I marry you, all this, he gestured at the mansion, will remain safe in family hands. Chioma frowned. You mean safe in your hands? He chuckled, sipping wine. Well, a man must protect what is his. Her father laughed. That is true. But Chioma's voice cut through. I am not an estate, Mr. Titus. You cannot buy me like land. The table went silent. Titus cleared his throat, embarrassed. Her father glared at her. Her mother pressed her hand under the table, signaling her to stop. But Chioma didn't stop. Tell me, Mr. Titus, she said, eyes firm. Do you even know my favorite color? My dreams? My fears? Titus shifted. Those things are childish. What matters is stability. You will learn. Chioma stood, napkin falling to the floor. Then you will learn too. I am not for sale. She walked out again, leaving the hall in shock. That night, her father stormed into her room. Enough, Chioma. Enough of this foolishness. Daniel was perfect. Titus was perfect. But you, always rejecting, always rebelling. They were perfect for you, not for me, she said, standing tall. You will disgrace me in front of my friends? In front of this society? I will not disgrace you, Daddy. I will disgrace the idea that my life is a business deal. Her father's chest heaved. You think love will save you? Love does not build empires. Wealth does. Respect does. Chioma's eyes filled with tears, but her voice stayed steady. Then maybe I don't need an empire. Her father raised his hand in anger, but stopped midair. He lowered it slowly, his face twisted with rage and pain. You are my daughter, and you will do as I say. He left, slamming the door. Chioma collapsed on her bed, tears spilling, heart heavy. She knew she had just made enemies in her own home. But deep inside, she also knew she could not back down. Somewhere out there, away from these chandeliers and banquet tables, was the life she wanted. She didn't know where it would come from, or who would bring it. But she knew one thing for sure, Daniel and Titus would never own her future. And in that silent moment, with her tears drying on the pillow, she had no idea that fate was preparing a different kind of man for her. Not a rich suitor, not an arrogant heir. By the time a poor mechanic makes you cry, don't call me, Chief Williams said the next morning, his voice cold as ice. He didn't know he was speaking a prophecy. He only wanted to break his daughter's will. The mansion felt tight, like the walls were listening. After rejecting Daniel and Mr. Titus, Chioma woke up to a war she didn't ask for. Her phone was full of messages from aunties, uncles, family friends. Fix your attitude. Apologize to your father. Say yes to Daniel. She put the phone face down and walked to the dining room. Her mother, elegant and tired, poured tea. Sit, she said. Eat, then dress. Your father wants to see you in his study. Chioma sat but didn't eat. Mummy, why must everything be a fight? Because you don't understand what's at stake, her mother replied. People are watching. Our name is heavy. You are not just a girl. You are the Okeke daughter. And a human being, Chioma said softly. With a heart. Her mother's face softened, but only for a second. Your heart can learn. Respect first. Feelings later. They both turned at the same time when the study door opened. Chief Williams stood there, a tall shadow. Now, he said. Chioma followed him. The study smelled of leather, wood polish, and power. Files were stacked in clean lines. Deals were made in this room. Today, a life would be negotiated. Sit, he said. She stood. I prefer to stand. He smirked. Defiance looks childish on you. He opened a folder and slid a paper across the desk. These are names. 10 of them. Clean families. Old money. Good reputations. We will choose from here. Chioma didn't touch the list. I said no. You said nonsense, he snapped. You embarrassed me. Twice. In my house. In front of my friends. I protected myself, she replied. I am not a company to merge. I am not land to be acquired. He rose from his chair, hands on the desk. Then what are you? A dreamer? Wake up. In Lagos, you don't marry because your heart beats fast. You marry because your name must not fall. My name is Chioma, she said, voice steady. Not Okeke Legacy. Just Chioma. He laughed without joy. Your mother and I built this empire brick by brick. Do you think it happened by luck? We fought. We bled. We swallowed insults. Now it is your turn to pay the price that keeps doors open. And my peace? She asked. My joy. You will learn it after the wedding, he said. Like everyone else. Her eyes shone but did not break. I will not marry a man I don't respect. Respect, he scoffed. Daniel is a king among boys. Titus is a fortress among men. They don't see me, she replied. Only the house, the cars, the land. I will not marry a man who looks at my father when he speaks to me. Chief Williams paced. Listen to me, Chioma. I know men. They do not respect a woman who refuses order. They will punish you for this. They will talk. They will twist stories. You will drown in whispers. I already drown in whispers, she said. But I can sleep because I haven't sold myself. Her mother entered quietly, as if the house itself summoned her. Chioma, she said gently, choose the reasonable path. One dinner with Daniel. One lunch with Titus. Be soft. Be wise. I tried, Chioma said. It felt like I was being priced. Chief Williams pointed at the list again. You will pick 3 names before noon. We host them this week. No, Daddy. His jaw tightened. If you walk out again, I will cut you off. The words hit the room like thunder. Her mother gasped. My husband. He didn't look at his wife. He kept his eyes on Chioma. Money gives you courage you did not work for. If you want to live by your feelings, live without my money. Silence burned. Chioma swallowed. Is that what I am to you? A bill you must control? You are my responsibility, he said. I am your daughter, she shot back. Not your project. He breathed hard, trying to steady himself. You will choose from that list. Final. Then hear mine, she said suddenly, surprising herself. My list has 1 item. A man who sees me. A man who is kind. A man who does not measure my worth with my father's name. Her mother's voice trembled. And where will you find this saint? I don't know, Chioma said. But I know where he is not. Chief Williams looked at her as if seeing a stranger. You are making a mistake that will follow you for life. Maybe, she said. But it will be my mistake. He slammed the desk. Leave. She turned to go, then paused at the door. Daddy, she said softly. You taught me to stand tall. Don't punish me now for doing it. When she left the study, the corridor felt long and cold. Staff looked away. The house carried the weight of anger. She went to her room and locked the door. The tears came fast, then slowed, then stopped. She sat on the floor with her back to the bed and breathed. Her phone buzzed. Amaka? Are you okay? Chioma? No. But I'm not broken. Amaka? Do you want to leave the house for a while? Chioma? If I step out now, they will call it rebellion. Amaka? Then call it oxygen. Chioma smiled a little. Oxygen sounded holy. There was a knock. Her mother entered slowly. No makeup now, just a tired woman who loved her child and feared the world. She sat beside Chioma on the floor, back to the bed like teenagers hiding from noise. "Your father speaks like a storm," her mother said. "But he loves you." "I know," Chioma replied. "But love should not feel like a leash." Her mother looked at her hands. "When I married him, I didn't know him well. I learned him. We grew into friends. It wasn't a fairy tale, but it became a home." "Do you want that for me?" Chioma asked. "Or do you want better?" Her mother's eyes filled. "I want you safe." "I'm safer with a good man," Chioma said. "Not a rich one." Her mother sighed. "Then bring a good man. Show us something we can defend when the world asks questions." "And if he has no money?" Chioma asked. Her mother's silence was loud. They sat in that silence until the house calmed. A bird called from a tree outside. Somewhere a blender hummed. Life went on even in war. Her mother stood. "Dinner is at 8. Wear blue. It softens your face." She started to leave, then turned. "I will talk to your father. But you, be careful with your words. Pride is a fire." "I'm not proud," Chioma said. "I'm scared." "That is also a fire," her mother replied and left. When the door closed, Chioma lay back on the carpet and stared at the ceiling. She thought about the list on her father's desk, names heavy with status, light on mercy. She thought about a different life with simple laughter, honest work, slow evenings. She didn't know it yet, but the road to that life was already building itself outside these gates. It would not come in a limousine. It would come with grease on its hands, quiet eyes, and a heart that gave without asking. For now, all she had was a promise she made to herself. "I will not marry fear." The rain started like a warning. Small drops on the windshield, then a hard curtain that turned the road into glass. Chioma gripped the steering wheel, heart heavy from the fight with her parents. She just needed a drive, a little space to think. But Lagos traffic doesn't care about your feelings. One sharp break from the car ahead, one skid, one jolt, and her sleek car bounced against the median with a loud, ugly crack. "God!" she whispered, chest tight. Steam rose from the bonnet. Horns shouted from every side. People slowed to stare. Phones came out. A few voices called her name like she was a show. She tried the ignition, coughed and died. "Please," she begged the car, like it had ears. Nothing. She turned on the hazard lights and stepped out into the light rain, hugging herself. Her dress clung to her skin. Her driver wasn't with her. She'd told him not to follow today. She'd wanted freedom. Now freedom left her stranded on the express. "Madam, you day okay?" A bus driver shouted. "I'm fine," she said, though she wasn't. A young man with a box of phone chargers approached. "Sister, make I call tow?" "No, thank you," she said, forcing calm. Then someone cut through the small crowd. He wasn't tall, but he moved with quiet purpose. His shirt was old and damp, jeans stained with oil. He carried a small tool bag, the kind that looked like it had seen too many fights. His face, handsome in a simple way, was calm, eyes steady, the kind that listen before they speak. "Good afternoon," he said, voice low. "I'm Obina. Your radiator hose burst, I think. I can help if you'll allow me." Chioma looked him over. Wet clothes, rough hands, no umbrella, no slick talk. Something in her flinched. Her life had trained her to be careful. Her status had trained her to doubt. "Are you a mechanic?" she asked. "Yes," he said. "Homeless for now, but still a mechanic." People chuckled around them. She swallowed. "I don't have cash on me," she said, testing him. "I didn't ask for money," he replied. "I asked to help." She didn't move. Rain tapped harder. The car hissed like a wounded animal. "Please open the bonnet," he said gently. "Heat can damage more parts." "We don't have time to argue." Something about his tone, firm but kind, cut through her fear. She pressed the release. He lifted the bonnet and leaned in. Steam puffed against his face. He didn't flinch. He took a rag from his bag, twisted open a cap slowly, waited for the steam to settle. "What are you looking for?" she asked, stepping closer without meaning to. "Cracks, leaks, anything loose," he said. "This hose is torn. Small but enough to stop your car. I can patch it to get you moving, then you change it properly later." "With what?" He held up a strip of rubber, some clamps, tape, and a bent fork. She blinked. He smiled a little. "Don't worry. Bush engineering still works if you know what you're doing." He worked fast, hands sure, movements clean. He talked as he worked, not to impress her, just to keep her calm. When the engine heats up, weak hoses fail first. Pressure builds. One tiny tear can stop a big car. That's life. She watched his fingers. Steady, respectful. No drama. No showing off. "What's your name again?" she asked. "Obina. Where do you work?" "Anywhere," he said. "Under bridges. In front of people's gates. By God's mercy. I used to have a small corner, but it got cleared." "And you still help people for free?" He glanced at her. "Not for free. For dignity." She didn't know what to say to that. The word sat in her chest. He finished the patch and signaled her to try the ignition. She slipped into the driver's seat, wiped her wet hands on her dress, and turned the key. The engine coughed again, then settled into a soft hum. Relief washed over her face. "It's not perfect," he said, closing the bonnet. "But it will take you home without problem. Tomorrow get a new hose. Not a cheap one." She stepped out, the rain easing. "Thank you," she said. "I really thank you." He nodded like it was nothing. "Drive careful. The road is not your friend." She looked around for her bag. "I said I don't have cash, but I can do a transfer if." He shook his head. "Keep your money. You needed help. Tomorrow it could be me." "Please," she insisted. "Let me appreciate you." He shifted, uncomfortable. "I won't say no to water and bread," he said, half smiling. "But no money. Money makes people talk to me like they own me." She blinked. Simple. Honest. No greedy eyes. "Wait here," she said. She dashed to a nearby kiosk and came back with water, bread, and a small raincoat. He laughed softly when he saw the raincoat. "You want to upgrade me," he teased. "You deserve to be dry," she said. "At least a little." He took the bag, grateful but shy. "Thank you." "Do you have a phone?" she asked. "In case. If the car acts up again." "I have a small phone," he said. He told her the number. She saved it as Obina, mechanic. The name looked strange in her rich girl phone. It also looked right. "Promise me you'll get a safe place to sleep tonight," she said before thinking. He met her eyes. "I'll try." "Try is not promise," she said quietly. He smiled, the kind of smile that didn't ask for anything. "Okay, I promise to try harder." Cars moved again. The small crowd faded. It was just them and the soft rain. She slipped into the driver's seat, then paused. "You were kind to me when you didn't have to," she said. "Most people wanted pictures. You wanted peace." "Peace is cheaper," he said. "Safe journey, madam." "Chioma," she corrected. "My name is Chioma." He nodded once. "Safe journey, Chioma." She drove off slowly, checking the temperature gauge like he told her. In the rearview mirror, she saw him put on the raincoat, bite the bread, and walk toward the bridge with his tool bag bouncing against his leg. A small man in a big city, moving like a quiet answer to a loud problem. Her phone buzzed. A message from her mother. "Where are you?" "Dinner at 8. Chioma typed back, "I'm on my way." Then she added, without sending, "I met someone good today." She deleted the last line. Felt too soft for the war at home. Still, as she joined the traffic, she felt something new settle inside her like warm light. Not love. Not yet. Just relief. Just the simple truth that kindness still exists on Lagos roads. She didn't know it, but that small patch on a torn hose had just opened a door. And on the other side of that door stood a homeless mechanic with steady hands, and a future that would soon collide with hers again. The next morning, Chioma did something she had never done in her life. She drove herself to a small roadside parts market to find a radiator hose. Not a driver, not a bodyguard. Just her and the city. It felt risky and strange, but last night's patch was only temporary, and the man who helped her, Obina, stayed in her mind like a soft echo. She parked close to the curb and called him. He picked on the second ring. Hello. It's me, Chioma. From yesterday. Pause, then a smile in his voice. I remember. I'm at the parts market. You said I should buy a good hose. I don't know which one to pick. I'm nearby, he said. Don't buy anything. I'm coming. He appeared 10 minutes later, raincoat folded under his arm, tool bag in hand. His shirt was still worn, but clean. He approached like he didn't want to scare her, careful and calm. You came alone? He asked. Yes, she said. Is that wrong? He shook his head. It's brave. Lagos can be loud. They moved through the market together. Sellers shouted prices. Grease scented the air. Obina checked hoses with his fingers, bending, pressing, rejecting most. This one, he said at last, lifting a thicker hose. It won't fail you soon. How do you know? He smiled. Rubber tells the truth if you listen. Back at her car, he knelt by the engine. She stood beside him holding an umbrella, even though the sun was out now. You don't have to shade me, he said. I want to, she replied. Consider it payment. You paid yesterday, he said. With bread. And the raincoat, she added. He looked up at her. That one was luxury. They both laughed, and the sound surprised them. It was simple and light. He worked steadily, wiping the radiator mouth, measuring, cutting, fitting clamps. How did you learn this? She asked. My uncle was a mechanic, he said. I followed him everywhere as a boy. I loved the sound of engines. They complain, but they also tell you how to help them. Where is he now? Dead, Obina said softly. Typhoid. Years ago. I'm sorry, she said. He nodded. Life breaks, we patch. She watched his hands. There was a neatness to the way he moved, no showing off, no rushing. It reminded her of the quiet moments she used to see between her parents before power and parties swallowed them whole. Where do you sleep? She asked before she could stop herself. He didn't flinch. Under the flyover most nights. There's a spot the police don't disturb much. Sometimes a church lets me stay in their compound if I help fix their generator. And your family? My mother died 2 years ago, he said, tightening a clamp. It was just the two of us. I send money to a cousin when I can. He keeps my old toolbox in his room so it won't get stolen. She swallowed. I didn't mean to be rude. You weren't. You asked like you cared, not like you were counting. She looked away, a little shy. I'm not good at this, at asking normal questions. Normal is a big word, he said. I don't think anyone has it. He finished and wiped his hands. Start the car. She climbed in, turned the key, and the engine came alive. Smooth, steady, strong. The gauge stayed cool. She exhaled, smiling without thinking. You're good, she said. No, he replied. I'm useful. She stepped out and faced him. I want to pay you, properly this time. He shook his head, then saw the look on her face and softened. Okay, but let me choose how. How? Buy engine coolant. And, if you insist, buy one extra hose for emergencies. Keep it in the boot. It's better than cash. Money falls out of hands. Parts stay. Deal, she said. They walked back to the market. A boy selling sachet water bumped into Obina. The boy's tray tilted. The waters scattered. Instinctively, Obina caught the tray before it fell, bent, helped gather the sachets, and put a handful of coins into the boy's pocket. Thank you, Oga, the boy breathed. Obina waved him off. Go before your boss shouts. Chioma watched, a quiet warmth spreading in her chest. No cameras, no audience, just kindness. On their way back, she asked, Do you ever think of opening a small workshop? Every day, he said. A tiny space, a roof that keeps tools dry, a sign that says, Obina, we fix, we don't cheat. She smiled. That sign is bold. It's the only way I know how to work, he replied. If you cheat engines, they shame you later. They reached her car. She hesitated. If I wanted you to service my car sometimes, is that okay? He frowned slightly. You have people for that. I have people for everything, she said. It doesn't mean they see me. He studied her face, reading something beyond the makeup and fine dress. I will service the car, he said finally. But not in your compound. People like your guards don't like men like me. She nodded, understanding. There's a public car wash near my estate. We can meet there. That is fine, he said. Silence held them for a moment, not awkward, just full. She broke it first. Thank you, Obinna. He lifted the raincoat from his bag, now dry. Thank you for this, he said. Rain didn't enter me last night. Her chest tightened in a way she couldn't explain. Good. A bus honked hard. The city reminded them that time was moving. She opened her door, then turned back. If anybody asks you to fix their car and they are rude, walk away. Okay? He laughed. Then I will be hungry. She laughed too. Fine. Fix it. But don't let them talk down to you. You are good. He looked at her like the words landed somewhere he didn't show people. I will try. She got in. He stepped back. She pulled out into traffic, but the world felt a little different. Quieter. Safer. At the next light, she saved his number again, changing the contact name to Obinna. No title, no label. Just a name. As she drove, her phone buzzed. Mummy. Dinner at 8. Wear the gold dress. Chioma typed. Okay. Then she stared at the message a second longer and added nothing. She had a new thought now, small but stubborn. Maybe a good man doesn't need a big name. Maybe he needs a steady heart. At a red light, she glanced at the rearview mirror as if she could still see him. Raincoat, tool bag, that quiet way he stood. She didn't call it love. Not yet. But it was a spark. And sometimes, one small spark is enough to light a road you never knew you could walk. They met at the public car wash just before sunset. The billionaire's daughter and the homeless mechanic, standing side by side like a secret the city wasn't ready to hear. Obinna wiped his hands on a clean rag. Pop the bonnet, he said. Chioma did, smiling a little. I brought the coolant like you said. Good, he replied. Engines like care. He worked while she held a small torch. It felt normal, soft talk, steady hands, no noise about names. Then a black SUV rolled in fast and stopped hard. The door opened. Chief Williams stepped out, face carved from stone. Chioma froze. Daddy? She whispered. Her mother climbed out too, eyes full of shame and fear. 2 security men stood behind them, ready like this was a crime scene. People at the car wash turned to stare. Obinna straightened, his rag hanging at his side. Chief Williams let his eyes travel over Obinna. Worn shoes, faded jeans, the raincoat folded in his bag. He didn't hide the disgust. So this is the new project, he said. This is the man you hide to meet. Daddy, please. Keep quiet, he thundered. You bring the Okeke name to a car wash? To meet? This. Obinna held his ground. Good evening, sir. Don't sir me, Chief snapped. Who are you? Obinna. A mechanic, he said simply. I helped your daughter when she had car trouble. And now you help yourself to her, ABI? Chief's laugh was sharp. You think she will carry you out of the gutter? Chioma stepped between them, voice firm. He is not a gutter. He is a man. Move back, her father commanded. We are leaving. He looked at Obinna again. Stay away from my family. Do you hear me? Stay away. Obinna's jaw tightened, but his tone stayed calm. I don't want trouble. I fix cars. That is all. That is not all, her mother said, voice shaking. People are watching. Cameras are everywhere. Tomorrow, blogs will say our daughter sneaks out to meet a homeless man. Say it, Chioma replied, eyes on her mother. A human being. Enough, Chief said. He waved at a guard. Collect this boy's number. If he calls my daughter again, arrest him for harassment. Obinna looked at Chioma. Is that what you want? No, she said. I want you to be safe. Chief scoffed. Safe? He belongs under a bridge. That is his level. If he comes near you again, he will know who I am. Obinna met the chief's eyes, respectful but unshaken. I already know who you are. The real question is, do you know who your daughter is? A hush fell. Even the water hoses seemed to quiet. Chief took a step forward. You are bold for a beggar. I am not begging, Obinna said. I am working. Her mother grabbed Chioma's hand. Let's go, please, before this becomes a scandal. Chioma pulled her hand back. Mummy, he is kind to me. He respects me. He listens. Those things should matter. Chief's voice cracked like thunder. Respect is not a poor man's ornament. A man must bring something to a home. He must carry weight. Obinna nodded. You are right. I have weight. It is not money, but it is clean. Chief laughed. What a sermon. Will your cleanliness pay school fees? Will it buy a house? I cannot buy a house now, Obinna said, but I can build a home. Chioma touched Obinna's arm, a small touch that felt like a stand. Her father saw it and his face went red. Guards, move him, Chief ordered. Don't touch him, Chioma snapped, stepping in front of Obinna. If you do, I will scream this place down. Her mother's voice broke. Chioma, please, think of our name. I am thinking of my life, she replied. And you want to throw away a good man because he is poor? Chief pointed at Obinna. He is not good. He is lucky you are naive. Obinna swallowed, then spoke to Chief, not angry, just clear. Sir, I know I do not look like the men you want. I cannot match their suits. But I will not shame your daughter. If she were mine, I would carry her with both hands. I would protect her like breath. The words landed in the air and stayed. Chioma's eyes filled. You see me, she whispered. I see you, Obinna said. Chief turned away as if the sight offended him. This ends tonight, he said. Chioma into the car. Last warning. She didn't move. If you force me, I will still find him again. Because I'm not a child. And I'm not your company. People watched with soft eyes. A boy with a towel paused mid-wipe. A vendor stopped counting change. You could hear the quiet. Her mother spoke like a prayer. Obinna, leave my child. In another life, maybe, but not this one. She will be destroyed. Obinna looked at Chioma, then at her parents. He nodded, slow and heavy. I will go, he said to Chioma. But not because I am afraid. Because I do not want to break your house. I don't have that right. Don't go, Chioma said, grabbing his wrist. He smiled gently. I will not vanish. I will work. I will grow. If your love is real, it will find me again. If it's not, then I was only sent to fix a hose and teach you that kindness still exists. He slipped his hand from hers, placed the rag on the engine, and stepped back. Your car is ready, he said. Drive safe. Chief signaled the guards to stand down, satisfied he had won. He opened the SUV door. Now. Chioma looked at Obinna one last time. Promise me one thing. He waited. Don't let this make you smaller. He nodded. I will only get better. She turned to her parents. I'm coming, she said, voice flat. She slid into the SUV, a storm behind her eyes. As they drove off, her mother whispered, We saved you. Chioma stared at the road. No, she said. You saved our name. Back at the car wash, Obinna watched the taillights fade. He breathed out long and slow, then opened his tool bag. He counted his wrenches like a man counting prayers. Work, he told himself. Make something they cannot laugh at. That night, Chioma lay awake in her room, phone on her chest, thinking of a man with steady hands and a quiet heart. Somewhere across the city, under a flyover, Obinna lay on a thin mat, eyes open, making a promise to the dark. I will prove I am worthy, not with noise, but with work. Your mother and I will not sit here and watch you throw away your future for a mechanic, Chief Williams said, his voice cutting across the living room like a whip. The air in the Okeke mansion was heavy. the kind of silence that follows a storm but promises another one is coming. Chioma stood by the window, arms folded tight across her chest. Daddy, you don't even know him. You never asked what he means to me. I don't need to know, he snapped. A poor man has nothing to offer you but shame. Her mother spoke softer but no less firmly. Chioma, listen to us. This love you're chasing will fade when hunger knocks on the door. You need a man who can carry you, not one you must carry. Chioma turned, her eyes sharp with unshed tears. I don't need to be carried. I need to be respected. Obinna respects me. Chief Williams slammed his palm on the glass table. Respect without money is empty. Daniel has wealth, Titus has connections. And you, what do? You disgrace both and run after a man who fixes cars under a bridge. Her heart pounded. Daddy, you keep saying money, name, society. What about me? I am not a trophy. I am not your business deal. Her mother stood now, pleading. We only want to protect you. The world will not forgive you if you make the wrong choice. Do you know what people are already saying? That you're rebelling, that you're bewitched, that you're desperate for attention. I don't care what they say, Chioma said. I care about how I feel. For once in my life, I feel seen. Why is that so hard for you to understand? Before her parents could answer, a loud knock sounded at the door. The butler opened, and in walked Daniel, tall and smug, wearing his arrogance like a crown. Good evening, Chief, he said smoothly, bowing slightly. Madam, you're looking radiant. And Chioma? He let his eyes linger on her. You look even more beautiful than last week. Chioma rolled her eyes. What are you doing here? Her father answered for him. I invited him. Daniel is serious about you. He has come again to prove it. Daniel smirked. Yes, I don't give up easily. A woman like you, Chioma, belongs beside a man like me. Together we will be the power couple Lagos has been waiting for. Chioma's voice dripped with sarcasm. And what if I don't want to be Lagos's entertainment? You will, Daniel said confidently. Once you realize that I can give you everything your father wants for you, and more. Respect? She shot back. Respect comes with fear, Daniel said. And people fear me. That's enough. Chioma shook her head in disbelief. You're exactly why I said no. Daniel's jaw tightened. He leaned close, lowering his voice but not his pride. If you think you can humiliate me in public and then run around with a street boy, you're mistaken. People are laughing at me because of you. But I don't mind. Soon they'll laugh at him instead. Her father cut in quickly. Daniel, leave that boy out of this. Daniel chuckled. I don't need to lift a finger. Lagos eats men like him alive. Watch. Chioma stood firm. You may have money, Daniel, but you don't have what he has. He has a heart. Something you will never buy. Daniel smirked, unfazed. We'll see how far hearts can take you, princess. He bowed mockingly and left. The room stayed tense even after the door closed. Chioma faced her parents, tears now sliding freely. Do you see? That's the kind of man you want me to marry? Arrogant, empty, dangerous. And you say Obinna is the shame. Her mother whispered. At least Daniel can protect you from hunger. Chioma's voice rose, trembling but fierce. I'd rather eat bread with a man who loves me than dine in gold with a man who treats me like property. Chief Williams's face softened for a brief second, but he shook it off. One day you will regret this. And when you do, don't say I didn't warn you. Chioma took a deep breath, wiping her tears. Then let me regret it on my own. I'd rather fall by my own choice than stand by yours. She turned and walked out, leaving her parents in stunned silence. Her steps were heavy, but her heart felt lighter than it had in weeks. For the first time, she wasn't just fighting them. She was choosing herself. Upstairs in her room, she closed the door and whispered into the stillness. Obinna, I don't care what they say. I will fight for us. And somewhere across the city, under a dim streetlight, Obinna tightened a bolt on a car engine and thought of her too. The world was against them, but the spark between them was growing into a flame neither wealth nor pride could put out. It happened on a hot afternoon. the kind that made the Lagos road shimmer like glass. Chief Williams's car broke down on 3rd Mainland Bridge, smoke rising from the bonnet while angry horns blasted behind him. His driver panicked, waving hands helplessly. Chief cursed under his breath, sweat beading on his forehead. "Useless," he snapped at the driver. "You don't know what to do?" "Sir, I don't understand engines," the driver stammered. Then, from the crowd of stuck cars, someone stepped forward with a small tool bag. Chief froze when he saw him. It was Obinna. For a moment, pride wrestled with desperation. Chief wanted to wave him away, but the heat, the smoke, and the shame of stranded cars forced his hand. "You again," Chief said coldly. "Why is it that trouble always brings you near me?" Obinna bowed his head slightly. "It's not trouble, sir. It's an engine. Let me help." Chief hesitated. Sweat trickled down his temples. Finally, he stepped aside. "Do it fast. And don't make me regret this." Obinna opened the bonnet with steady hands, checking pipes, wiping with his rag, listening to the hiss of the radiator. His movements were quick but calm. No panic, no fear. After a few minutes, he tightened a clamp and patched a small leak. "Try it now," he said. The driver turned the key. The engine coughed, then purred to life, smooth and steady. The horns behind them softened as the car rolled forward again. Chief exhaled, relief written all over his face though he tried to hide it. "You should replace that pipe soon," Obinna said. "But for today, you're safe." Chief studied him quietly, his chest rising and falling. For the first time, he saw not a beggar but a man. Sweaty, focused, dependable. "Why did you stop to help me?" he asked finally. Obinna looked him in the eye. "Because your daughter means something to me, and because no man should be stranded when I can fix it. That is my work." Chief said nothing. The driver tried to thank him, but Obinna only nodded and stepped back. That evening, when Chief entered the mansion, Chioma was waiting in the sitting room. She braced herself for another fight, but instead, her father sank into a chair, silent for a long while. Finally, he spoke. "That mechanic, he fixed my car today." Chioma's eyes widened. "Obinna?" "Yes," Chief muttered. "On the bridge. No complaints, no begging. Just work." Her mother, seated beside her, looked stunned. "What are you saying?" Chief rubbed his temples. "I mocked him. I insulted him. Still, he helped me. With steady hands. With dignity." He looked at Chioma. "This is the man you've been fighting for?" "Yes, Daddy," she said, voice trembling. "This is the man I love." Her mother frowned. "But he has nothing." Chioma's tears fell as she replied. "He has everything that matters. He respects me. He is kind. He is real. Isn't that what you wanted for me? A man who will stand by me no matter what." Silence filled the room. Chief Williams leaned back, staring at the chandelier, as if wrestling with every voice in his head. Society, friends, his pride. Then, slowly, he looked at his wife. "Maybe we were wrong," her mother gasped. "You can't mean." "I mean it," Chief said firmly. "I saw his heart today. He didn't just fix a car. He showed me he is not afraid of work. And that is wealth that doesn't fade." Chioma clasped her hands over her mouth, tears spilling in joy. "Daddy." Chief turned to her, his voice softer than she had ever heard. "If you truly want this man, I will not stand in your way." Her mother still hesitated, but the look in her husband's eyes silenced her. For once, Chief Williams had chosen peace over pride. The next week, Obinna stood at the Okeke mansion gates, freshly dressed in a clean shirt and trousers Chioma had insisted on buying. He looked nervous but strong. When Chief Williams came out, Obinna bowed. "Sir," he said, "I know I don't have riches yet, but I promise I will work every day to give your daughter the respect and love she deserves." Chief placed a heavy hand on his shoulder. "Then don't promise with words. Promise with your life. And never let her down." "I won't," Obinna said. Chioma appeared, radiant, her smile brighter than the sun. She walked straight to Obinna's side, slipping her hand into his without fear. For the first time, her father didn't pull her back. And in that moment, it was clear. The billionaire's daughter had found her husband not in a palace, not in a boardroom, but on a Lagos roadside, in the steady hands of a homeless mechanic who had fixed more than her car. He had fixed her heart. The war was over. Love had won.